Welcome to the What's That podcast. I'm Miley.
And I'm Anna Claire.
Join us as we unpack current trends, share relatable experiences, and talk about our spiritual journeys and how they fit into life in our 20s. Oh no!
This is going to be so bad.
Okay, we have some guests today. The boys are here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the boys are here. We're gonna, for Who, Where, What's That, we're gonna jump right in. You're gonna introduce yourself, tell us your name, and then tell us what your team is and why.
Your favorite team. Why you like them.
Who you're rooting for always.
Because the color, the mascot, or anything.
Or maybe the way they
have.
play, possibly it could be.
Yeah, I guess
Where we starting with?
Whoever wants
Go
to
down the
start.
line,
Go for
Tyler.
it.
Start us
Start.
off.
Yeah.
Who am I looking at? The camera?
You can look at the camera
Whoever
or
you
us,
want.
because
I'll
we're
look at
talking
y'all.
to you.
I'll look at
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Tyler. My favorite team is the Baltimore Ravens.
Couldn't tell.
For real. If you know me, you know that. My dad, family, that whole side of the family was born in Baltimore. So, obviously. And my mom's side of the family is from Maryland. So, still.
You're
Kinda
born
works.
into it.
Yeah, it's we have season tickets. And
Sick.
so I'm going up this weekend too.
Nice.
But, yeah, I love them a lot.
Okay.
Love
That's
them a
good.
lot.
Team spirit.
Okay, well.
My name's William Ryan Jones. I'm a Titans fan, born there. You know,
That's Tennessee,
Yeah,
right?
Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans,
okay,
baby.
Got it.
Nashville?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
Born and
Love it.
raised, not raised at all,
No.
but born there.
Born there. There
So
you
we
go.
support him. We lost Derrick Henry to this guy, but that's all right. That's all right. Still love him.
Oh, I don't know what that
Sucks.
means,
Okay.
but that sucks.
So sorry.
That
So
sucks.
sorry.
My name's Zach.
Hey, Zach.
I am a Carolina Panthers fan
Oh,
because I like pain. Apparently.
I like to suffer, actually. So,
Yep. My dad grew up near Charlotte,
nice.
and so
We see the hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Reppin'?
Nice.
repping, and
Okay.
I've been a Panthers fan ever since.
Perfect.
Through ups and just many downs.
Okay.
A lot of
With a
them.
few ups and then
Suffering
many
through
downs.
super
Yeah, no bandwagon here. No bandwagon.
no.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm Jarrett,
Hey,
and I'm a
Jarrett.
Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Nice.
And my
Heard of them.
team and Tyler's team are
They
very
suck.
big
Y'all
rivals.
suck.
Is that why you guys are
We
on
put them
opposite
on the
sides of
opposite
the
So
couch?
they had to keep us apart.
Separate.
Yes.
So
We
you
go
won't
ham.
fight.
We're
Okay.
keeping it civil today.
And
Cool.
I'm from West Virginia, which is kind of near Pittsburgh, and so my whole family
Is
just
it?
Is that close?
I mean closer in the realm of like
Okay.
teams.
Okay,
you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
West Virginia, we don't have much, man.
You
gotta
had to
look
pick what
around.
was
We
You had to go out of
you?
state for your team.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a
So-
country road that takes you home.
There you
There
go.
you
go.
Period.
So, yeah.
Cool. Miley, do you have one?
Growing
Favorite
up,
team?
no. I am currently a Dolphins fan because my family just moved to Florida. So
Perv.
that's not NFL though, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gators isn't.
No.
No.
Okay, so both
But
maybe.
the Dolphins. Okay.
I don't.
I'm a
colors
Jets
are-
fan as of last week. I'm a really big fan, but I chose it because they have the best colors. So I wear a lot of that green.
So
She was
So
already.
you sat down and was like, all right, I'm picking my favorite team.
Johnny
today.
literally showed me
Said
a
Thursday Night Football
picture
on
of
time.
all of the colors of all the different teams, and he didn't show me the names, and he was like, "Which color scheme do you like the best?" And I
Wow.
chose from that
Dang.
Yep.
So now you're locked in for life.
until I
she
choose
might
another
change.
color.
Okay,
She might
okay.
change her mind.
But right now,
It's possible.
Jets. Big fan. Big fan.
Where are they
who's
from?
who's the quarterback for the Jets?
Rogers.
Yeah,
I told you before. Roger, there you go.
Don't tell them that. Don't
Oh,
tell them.
shoot.
I knew
Yeah, no,
that.
she's a fan.
Roberts.
Yeah, okay.
Aaron Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
no.
we go.
Big fan.
Big fan.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Where are the Jets from? I don't know.
New York.
Oh, cool.
Where's their stadium?
New Jersey.
Okay, we're asking you the questions actually. So I have a question. What is? I forgot my question. What? Oh, how long have you been doing fantasy football? How long have you been participating? How many drafts have you done?
Yeah,
is
I
that a
guess.
thing? Yeah.
How many years?
How many
Because
years?
it's by year.
Seasons.
Seasons.
How many seasons have you been participating in fantasy football? Whatever order you want. Whoever wants
Let's go
to.
the opposite way.
Okay,
Go on,
Jarrett.
Starting with me this time. Gosh, I started just like a league with my like neighbors whenever
Okay.
I was, I think it was like 2015 or 2016, and I won like my second year. I had no clue what I was doing.
Nice.
And then the next year, I got first pick. Like, because if you won the championship, the next year you got the first pick of
We're
the
gonna have to
draft.
ask you what that means later. 'Cause
Okay, we'll talk about it
that
later.
means nothing to us.
We'll
So
get
Talk
an
about it
explanation.
later. But yeah, so probably like 9 or 10 years.
Okay.
And so
that's a
Dang,
long
that's
time.
a lot of years.
I
Okay.
know, you just something you just do with your friends.
Sweet.
There you go. Just something you do with your
Yeah,
friends.
right.
Yeah.
We need that.
So I remember I started 2017. That was my first year. I had never done a draft before, and I accidentally drafted Patrick Mahomes, which basically like
Good.
won me
Yeah.
the season. So
Great.
it was a lucky mistake.
Beginner's
And-
luck.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
That's
Nice.
amazing. And it was just downhill ever since because you're a Panthers fan.
Okay, listen.
Wow.
Listen. I don't need to catch strays over here. Yeah, listen. Your team actually has nothing to do with how you do in fantasy. That's
Okay.
actually one of the reasons people probably like fantasy. So we can get into
Because you
that.
can
Team can
pretend that
stink.
your team.
Is good.
You
Is
can be
good.
invested in other players' success than just your own team.
How many Panthers people do you have on your fantasy team?
Well, I'm in 2 leagues right now, and I
Okay.
currently have 2.
Out of a lot?
Yeah,
Out of
Okay. Well, what about you?
strays.
Um,
Strays.
I've been playing fantasy football for, I think this is my 4th or 5th season.
Okay.
Started in 2019, and I just got into it because someone posted on their Snapchat story,
LOL.
we need another person. And I
Like,
said,
I got you.
let's do
Try
it.
it out.
And then I moved here and got a sick league going, got a league
A
going.
league.
So,
What is that?
Trademark.
That's the name of their fantasy league.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't take L's.
7 of us do.
Okay.
That's true.
Great.
RIP. Go ahead.
I've been doing fantasy since I was, so 2013, so 11 years.
Okay.
We were doing it back in my house on paper, and my dad would get
Back in the old days.
he'd get like 10 pieces of paper, just all people, and we would just go on a draft. We would say, I want this guy. Next come Vic, I want this guy. Doing it for a long time. It's fun because you're like your own GM. Because if like your GM of the team that you like makes dumb decisions, you could just be a smart GM and make right
General
decisions.
General manager.
General
I
manager,
got that.
general
I've had a
manager.
job before. I know.
You get to pick who you start.
I did not know what that was.
Never had a job.
I gotta dumb down
Ever
my
in my
terms.
Ever.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all have all been doing it for quite a while. I'd say
Yeah.
years is quite a while.
Experienced. I say more than 1 year. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
commitment.
you have
So,
experience.
good
for
job.
sure.
I've definitely put more than 100 hours into it per year.
That's
That's just light.
Wow.
How much do you think that you spend? How much time do you think that you spend in the season of fantasy on your phone
Looking
with
at-
fantasy? I bet you actually could pull out your phone and actually. Can you track that?
Probably.
I'm sure
Like if
I'm
you
sure you
had
can
a
track it by
screen.
the app.
Screen time.
Screen time.
Go
I'll
look at the
say-
Are
screen.
we allowed to pull out our phones during that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. One thing I learned early on is that on game days you just can't be on the app all the time because you'll just drive yourself crazy. You'll be on it and you'll just be like,
Like constantly checking.
yes. You get so like, yeah, it'll ruin your
gotta
whole
just
day.
put it
You can't even
away.
actually enjoy a game that you're supposed to be watching because you're just so invested in like,
Interesting.
how's this player doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I've heard opposite where some people check it because it makes them more invested in the game because they have people and it's like
It's definitely going to make you more
Check it.
invested in a game that you're not maybe super interested in.
Like if it's not your team,
Uh-huh.
but you have a player on that team.
Yep.
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Cool. Did you see it?
We're trying to.
Well,
find
so
it.
I'm in 3 different leagues on 3 different apps.
Oh,
Oh,
so you're
God.
saying
So I have to
tied.
combine all 3 apps to see. So it's a lot.
It's okay. Well, what do you think? How much time do you think you
I'll be
spend?
honest. I probably spend an hour and a half, 2 hours a day sifting through it. Game days, totally different from about 12:30 until about 8 o'clock.
You're
You're
just
on.
checking.
Well, and he has the
Glued?
computer set up.
Yep, I got
Here's
the
the
computer
Oh.
set up. So
Wow.
it's
So wait,
right
what's
there.
different from a phone and a computer?
You just are.
It's just the website, so then I can watch the game on my phone and have it up. on my
double
computer.
screen.
Yep,
Got
double
it.
screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Stats and game.
So over a season, I would probably say like 15 hours a week. So like 60, 180,
Someone pay this man.
200 hours, 200 hours a season.
It's a
Should be a
part-time
job.
job.
Dang,
For
for
real,
real.
part-time job. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Jarrett, what about you?
That's wild.
For me, Gosh, I don't know. Because before the season, it's a lot more. But in the season, I would say, because I could probably like figure it out by the week. You know, I can't think of like the entire season. But how many weeks are there? In it, like 18, like 17?
17.
Like 17 or 18. So probably like 3 or 4 hours throughout the week. Like I would add it all up. And so do
That
the
seems
math
like
on
not
I
that
don't
much.
know.
That seems reasonable.
It's not that bad. It's probably more.
Guarantee it's
That's
more.
just like, that's just
After,
like
after we record, we'll check
You guys are
guys'
gonna be
screen
more
time
aware.
and we'll post them on. Just kidding.
This is how much
fact-
everyone-
fact check me. on that.
We went out.
Okay, since we're kind of like don't know really anything about fantasy football,
Zero.
we want you to give us a like 1 minute explain fantasy football to someone who's never heard of it, doesn't know what
Which,
it is.
by that, she means
us. Like an elevator pitch style overview of fantasy football, and then we'll probably have more detailed questions for you about certain things.
probably many.
That we've maybe overheard, but just like an elevator pitch. How would you explain it?
He's been doing it the longest. Take it away.
There you
Doing it for a
go.
long time.
1
You
minute,
get to
go.
you get to kind of own and manage a squad of guys who you
Squad of guys.
watch, you may not be on your favorite team. I mean, our producer here, he learned a lot about just the game, just the sport of playing fantasy, because you don't know these guys who you may sign on your team, but they look like they do good. And then through watching them, then you learn more about them, you learn more about the game. But yeah, it just makes you, I guess, kind of get into something that you may not have known before, and it keeps you enticed to it. It's just like another hobby, you know. It's something you could watch, but you don't have to just watch one team
We are
because
hobby
your one
girls.
team plays once a week. But you could watch all these different other games because you have different guys on different teams. So it makes you an addict to the sport, to be honest. But
Great.
but if you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year you get to some leagues you have to keep players.
You
Those
do.
are those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
what
yeah.
keepers are.
Okay.
You have to
we
keep
were
players
wondering.
Not a position.
on your team, not a position. No.
Wait, so like you carry them over from
Yep.
the last
You
year?
keep them.
Ah,
Yep. So, like, in-
keepers.
So real
sense.
NFL, they keep all their players unless they choose to trade them.
Unless they're
Fantasy,
right.
you
You
can keep a
lose.
few, or you lose everyone and restart with no players.
And that you get to choose that.
Yep.
Okay.
So each league is different, and then you draft at the beginning of every year, which is just every player's on a spreadsheet essentially, and you say,
And that's when
I
you guys
want
have
that
like
player.
the nights where you hang out together
The
and
draft.
you
Yep.
watch the Ducks go.
And they
across
do
the
that
Yep.
in real life,
They do that in real
They
life
draft.
with rookies.
but you're doing it with
We're
everyone,
doing it with everyone.
with all the players.
Yep. So then
Okay.
you pick your players, and then after everybody picks their players, then you go head to head. So my players, you get points for certain things they do. So when they catch a ball, they get a point. When they get a yard, they get a tenth of a point. When they get a touchdown, they
Funneling
got
through
6
right now. I'm
points.
processing.
Okay, so that when you guys say, "Oh, I'm playing," like Will's like, "Oh, I'm playing Jarrett tonight," it's because you have a player on a team and you have a player on another team, and they're playing each other. Nope.
We have a roster. So
Yeah.
the people I drafted and the people he drafted, we're going head to head to see whose roster can score more points.
So you're not. It's not that the
it's
game
not based
that's
on who's playing who. It's just like you just are
You
against each other.
watch the game to see how the player that you have on your team is doing.
Oh,
It
but you're
doesn't
not
have to do with
necessarily
teams.
watching the same game. You're just seeing how your players are.
You could be
doing.
watching
Yeah.
1,000 games.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well, not 1,000,
Yeah.
but multiple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many games.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Zach, what about you? What's your elevator?
You can kind of add on to them too.
Yeah.
'cause,
Yeah,
I
I
mean, we're
mean,
learning more. The
Will
more.
just kind of gave us like a little rundown of what fantasy is.
Yeah, that was.
I think my elevator pitch for fantasy football is that it's a fun way to be engaged with the sport of football, and you get to do it with people that you would normally
your
get to.
besties.
Yeah, you get to do it with people that you'd be talking. Well, maybe not your besties. No, I'm kidding. But you get to you get to talk about football in a more involved way with people that you'd probably already be talking about football with anyway. And so, yeah, it kind of keeps you connected as like a group in, how teams are doing, how players are doing, and it just makes a fun way to connect with other people.
Cute.
Nice.
Cute.
While we've been talking about it, I'm like explaining fantasy is really hard. Like there's so,
really
there's so much to think
It seems
about.
like it's really confusing. And
Yeah,
there's
it seems
a lot
very
of
detailed.
Yeah.
a lot of moving parts
I've
going
just been
on.
doing it for so long, and all my friends know about it, so it's kind of like second nature. I don't have to
Yeah.
like think about any of it. It's like explaining football to somebody. Like that's hard for me to do because I just grew up around it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about, you said there's different leagues.
Yeah.
What kind of league are you doing? And what kind of leagues are what's what?
I think the foundation of all leagues are the same,
The same.
Okay.
but it's just the different little pillars that they have.
So you get to
it.
customize your league.
Yeah.
We're,
yeah.
an,
To you.
we're an 8-man PPR one keeper league.
Oh my god. So you get to keep
So
one
what's
You
player.
get one
PPR.
keeper. PPR is point per reception.
Mm-hmm.
So every player gets 1 point per reception. It's just a way
to do points.
yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
So reception.
And then it's 8-man.
Good
That's
question.
that's
Eight
part
When
of
you
the
catch
game.
the ball,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So if they get a catch, it's a point. And so you want to get a player that's going to get a lot of catches, so you get more points.
And you can change that per league.
Yeah. I'm in a league that's half PPR.
So
Half a point.
So it's
for-
half a
you
point
get
per
half a
reception.
point for a
Yeah.
catch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just 'cause
So you just
wanna
make
it
up the
harder.
rules.
I don't know why. I didn't make
I don't
those
know
rules.
why either.
It doesn't make sense.
Kinda
Okay.
You're doing
dumb.
anything but PPR.
So what makes your league different from the rest?
Well, I think. Well, that's a good
The
question.
community.
Why'd
Zach?
you choose the league or the rules that you chose for
Well,
your
you were
league?
the one who chose for us to do a keeper league, so why don't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just thought it would be. I thought it would be fun to, if you play you reap the reward that you got from last year. So if you drafted a player well, you could keep that player, and you didn't have to.
Got you.
Like, you're rewarded for drafting
Got
a
you.
good player. So I thought I was like, yeah, we can do that, and then it adds a little bit of familiarity to the next season, because you're like, oh, I was so happy rooting for him, and you can keep rooting for that same guy.
So not every league has that.
Not every league.
Interesting.
Okay.
And your name is Weeg.
The league name is Weeg.
How'd you come up with that one?
We put a poll out, and
Oh.
Johnny Morales decided to say Weeg, and because it was, we don't take no L's,
Amazing.
That's good.
but 7 of us lose every
Yeah.
single season.
But the
Wait.
league as a group doesn't take L's.
We know.
Just
Yeah.
Except for-
collectively
Yep.
Just
in your
everyone
hearts.
but one.
Yeah.
So wait,
Nice.
what do you guys? There's punishments in fantasy football. What was you guys' punishment? Because I've seen the outcome of some of these punishments. It's when someone loses. How does one lose a league?
Yeah, because you said 7 people take L's and only 1 person wins, but also
Only
you
one person does
only
the
make
punishment?
1 person do the punishment.
So the way it's set up, no,
You got it.
Go ahead.
the way it's set up in our leagues, we have 8. So you got 6 in the top playoff. So in the regular season, the 6 best records, people with the 6 best records, because you go 1-on-1, yeah, they are in the top.
Processing, even if I don't. Look
Well, it's
like
because
it,
you get
I-
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get points. So if you score more points than the guy you're going up against that week, you get a win.
Okay.
So the 6 teams with the most wins, they go into the playoffs, and the bottom 2 go into the losers bracket, and the loser of the losers bracket
Does
gets
the
the
thing.
punishment. But then
Ultimate
the winner
loser.
of the top 6 playoff bracket wins,
And they get the trophy.
and they get a
Which
trophy,
is behind
which
us.
is behind us. Who
If you can see. Whose name is
yeah.
on there right now?
maybe mine,
Yours
and
is on there.
maybe
and
the
who?
producer
My
of the
husband?
show as well,
Yeah.
your husband. So.
Johnny.
His name is on there. So what's been some of
I'll
your?
be there soon.
Jared said, "This is my."
For the record, I wasn't even in this
Oh,
league
you
the
didn't have a
first year.
chance.
They just
Got
come
you.
up with excuses
Oh,
at this point.
they
It's
skipped
So
you.
who do you think has the Who do you think is
Yeah,
gonna
who's
win this
winning
year?
right now?
And who's gonna lose?
Who is winning? Who's in first?
Or who do you
Three-way
think?
tie.
Everybody's
Oh.
Well, not right now.
I think
but just
I'm
who do you
winning
think's
right
gonna
now.
win?
Who's
Zach,
the
you're
predicted
winning by
winner
most
of
points.
this
Oh,
year?
this point.
That's just.
But like,
I
who do
think-
you think is gonna
I think
win?
Zach's gonna pull it away.
Oh.
Zach's year?
You might be on the trophy.
I really do. I love his team. I love his team.
Maybe we'll see.
That's
We
sweet.
right now there's a 3 or 4-way tie because I
Okay.
think a 3 because 3 of us are 2-1.
And can that drastically change by the end of the
100%.
season?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's
So
kind
you
of
think
anyone's.
it kind of mirrors like an actual football season for a team because we've each drafted a team.
Okay.
So our team is playing. Is it 14?
We do 14 and then 3 in the playoffs.
So we have 14 weeks, and in those 14 weeks, you play a different team in the league every week.
Okay.
And so your record will be if I win. I played Jarrett this week and I lost. Thanks for making me
Oh.
admit that.
Okay.
So like
Thank you for
he
your
has a win, I have a
vulnerability
loss.
on the
So
podcast.
yeah. So I'm 2-1 because I
Okay.
won my first 2 games. You know.
He said, just letting you know.
Yeah, just letting you know I
You
won
the
2
first
already.
two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the end of 14 weeks,
Cool.
that's how it's gonna figure out who's going into
The
the
six
playoffs.
or the,
Yes,
okay.
because
Got
it's going to
you.
be your record based off of how you performed
So
all
far.
the other weeks.
Okay, I have a question. Do you have to get a player from each different team? Like, can you have players on the same team
Yeah, you can have
in real life?
the
Whoever you want.
entire roster on the same
You can-
team. But it would be
Oh.
dumb because
There's good players. On
every
the different-
team also has a bye week.
What's bye week?
Explain that.
Yeah. What
So
is that?
so every team they play is 17 or 18
Seven.
weeks.
Are you talking real team?
Seven-
fantasy?
Real,
Yeah.
17
Okay.
games or 18.
real? So I mean, these are real players who are on real teams, and these real teams have a week off somewhere in the season.
Like
so if
for
you have,
vacay?
it's just like relax, basically.
Perfect.
So if you have a lot of guys who are on this one team,
Oh,
there
then
can come
you're
a week
screwed.
to where you,
You're just gonna lose.
yeah, because you don't have guys
'cause
who
no
can
one-
put up points, and the guys who take over those spots aren't good.
So bye
Also-
week is like bye. They're like on vacation.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Okay.
get a bye.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing too is that if you have too many players from one team and your team is playing against one of the best defenses
Right.
in the actual league,
Right.
that it's going to be tougher for all of your players.
Which
Mm-hmm.
I heard that the best defense in the league is the Steelers.
That's
Correct.
a lie.
That's true.
Absolutely.
I heard
true.
that from people. A source told me that the
The
Pittsburgh
Steelers-
Steelers have the best defense.
That's true.
What do you think
when
on
you look
this
at a
take?
record,
You agree?
I mean, they only have allowed 8.7 points per game this season.
And that's
pretty
not
tough.
a lot.
Who have
That's-
they played?
Don't the
They
Ravens?
played. They
haven't
played.
the
They
Ravens allowed
played the
26?
Justin Herbert
26?
list
Let's not
chart.
listen,
All right,
let's
whatever,
not listen to
whatever.
the hater.
Whatever. Don't even.
They're pretty good.
From
Coming from the Steelers fan in the
Steelers
corner.
They're
With-
pretty good.
Yeah, not having any bias, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Ravens have allowed 26 a game, so.
All right, I've seen a Super Bowl trophy with my own eyes.
Hey, but the Panthers won a game.
Yeah, they did.
go.
I
Yeah,
think
they
I'm
did.
props
Yeah.
to that.
thank you.
Some have said they may take it to the Super Bowl. Thoughts on that?
Listen, none said that.
He's got thoughts about it.
Panther fans, you give us an inch, we'll take a mile. You know?
There you go.
That's the best kind of
Take
fan
it
right
and
there.
You get a win, and you're like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We actually already won.
Sound like a Cowboys fan to me.
Oh.
Every year's their year.
Okay, no need for the Cowboys to take us straight right here.
It's getting wild. So, okay,
suck.
back to punishments. What was your punishment for the past year? And do you already know yours for this year? And what is it? Are we allowed to know that?
So this past year, we did the Blazing Challenge where we put hot sauce, the bomb hot sauce,
Bomb.
on
Gosh.
hot wings.
Okay.
and-
Hot One's not sponsored.
No,
Not
not
sponsored.
sponsored.
No.
Um,
But we could be.
Hot ones.
We
Reach
very
out.
much. We could be
There you go.
sponsored by
Yeah.
Hot Ones.
But yeah, the person who lost had to eat 12 wings or 10 wings in 5 minutes.
And that's a lot
Yes.
for you guys.
And if not,
And
and,
it was
this
really
is a ghost pepper Carolina Reaper
Oh,
sauce.
gosh.
Like
too.
you're in pain.
And
Yeah,
it was
very
not any of y'all that lost.
It was not.
No. Okay.
Not
We will not
picture.
name the loser.
It was
of the
Andrew.
league. Oh. Andrew lost. We were
He's
gonna let
tough.
him just
guys,
have
guys,
it.
let's
but
not throw Andrew Davis under the bus,
Drew
guys.
Davis.
Instagram
Andrew in
handle
North Carolina. Oh, so do you know what it is this year?
Yeah. Have you decided?
It's a secret. We'll have to keep it under wraps.
Really?
Oh, okay. We were
Not even the
actually-
secret for the podcast. Can't hear it.
Then it wouldn't be a secret.
Yeah.
Okay, we were there for that was the first year that we came and visited the punishment
Yeah.
Yeah.
spot. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah,
How
that- okay.
experience was for
So
you?
Oh,
that-
when you lost?
That one was me. I had to do the Waffle House challenge.
Do explain.
So I had to eat. It's every. You have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House, except every waffle that you eat, you get 1 hour off your
Okay.
time. So I ended up being there for 8 hours and eating 14
Oh
waffles.
gosh.
Now I'll say this was before I was in the league, but it was pretty rough
horrible.
because I showed up thinking there was going to be a whole crowd of support for this man, and
He
I
was by
showed
himself?
up. No, I think I showed up and you guys were there.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
we
y'all
went,
are also
we
good
visited.
friends.
Did I go?
Oh yeah, we went and ate a waffle. I ate a waffle for sure. We went and sat with you for like an hour or
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Well, I
Oh.
got there, and then after a little bit, I think maybe it was you and Lexi.
I don't think I went.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I
Not a
went
good
and
thing.
ate a waffle. That was like my first or second time at Waffle House. So,
I didn't.
I was like, I'll
Canadian
just,
things.
yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so I thought there was going to be like just a whole crowd of people rallying around this man. And at one point it was just me and him. And I was like, bro, let me help you eat some of these waffles.
Oh
I'm just hurting.
no.
I just
Sitting
felt
there
so
hurting.
bad. I mean, he
I'm
was
just
trying to drink
hurting.
Sprite to like
Oh
get it down.
gosh.
Well,
I
didn't
tried
you
to
show
blend
Sprite?
didn't
one.
you bring a blender?
I tried to
Yeah.
blend
yeah.
one, so I asked
Oh.
for milk, and I put syrup and I blended it. It was
Oh, that's
not
even
the
worse.
move. It did not blend very
That
well.
sounds disgusting.
But yeah.
So we
How-
really can't know the one for this year. It's not
No,
going to
it's a
get
secret.
disclosed. Do you
You'll
know
have
it?
to have us back.
You
Or
planned
are
it
you
already?
just saying that it's a secret because you don't
What's
know?
the next question? The dog.
Hey, well, if you have any ideas,
We can give you
can
ideas
give
if you want.
many.
Love to hear them.
Okay,
We'll let you know
we'll
after.
think about it.
I don't have any.
Put it in the comment
do it.
section
Below.
below.
What should their punishment be
We
for
already
the
know our
loser?
punishment.
Yeah, we already know it, but like,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
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 we'll do it the top comments.
Don't do that to us.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
don't.
That's scary. That's scary. Oh,
I don't have any other questions.
you don't?
No.
I feel like. Do you feel like you are like fully educated on fantasy football right now, or do you feel like we've just
I feel like I
scratched
know
the
a lot
surface?
more than I did before.
Oh yeah,
when I
for
started.
sure. If you guys had a tip for someone joining fantasy or wanting to be part of it, or for a girlfriend / spouse of a fantasy football attendee, what would that tip be on like
How to support.
how to join fantasy? I know that's two different questions of how to join in fantasy. Start with that one first. If someone's joining and they're new to fantasy,
your
what would you
advice?
tell them advice?
I'm just going to say, first of all, I know some girls that play fantasy football.
Okay.
And
They are
actually,
not
I know a
us.
girl that always balls out every year. So let's not demean and say that girls
Okay.
don't
Sorry.
already.
For the
Sorry.
girls
know.
that don't know.
Maybe not the demographic that's listening to this podcast.
Oh.
I don't know.
They're over
I
they're
don't
doing
know.
crafts.
I don't know the demographic, but I heard that last
It's
week's
86%
conversation.
women and 15% men.
Okay.
I don't know
Tyler's
if that matters.
that-
I heard that
15%.
last week's conversation was
Number one
hobbies
listener.
that involved grandma activities.
It is.
And
Yeah,
so
it
it
was.
sounds like a
Most
pretty
likely
niche.
the
Yeah, they don't know
demographic is
fantasy.
not fantasy
They
football.
don't. So, advice for the girl that doesn't know anything.
How do we
How
support
do they
you in your
enter
fantasy
in conversation?
Have grace.
Great.
God.
That's wild. Wild take.
It can ruin a mood. It really can.
What
If-
can?
If you're
Like
if you're
losing?
like doing really bad.
Oh,
if
I
you-
saw
Oh, so
a
you
video.
like this
drafted
is like
bad.
you let it dictate your whole life. For
No,
18
not like
weeks.
that. But like your mood on like a Sunday.
Yeah. I literally just saw a video on TikTok where it was like, girls are so emotional. And it was a guy reacting to like his fantasy scores. And he was like freaking out, slamming things
It's like
down.
he said, "I'm gonna throw up."
Yeah. He was like, I'm
like,
going
oh my
to throw
gosh.
up. Is that you guys?
Do you get that into it?
No,
You
but
get
I will
that
say, so
Tyler's like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Tyler does.
Monday rolls around. I'm in 2 leagues, and
Okay.
for the record, once again, I won both of my first games in both leagues.
He said
Wants
just
to get
put
that out of the
out
way.
there.
Just putting that out
Just to put
there.
it
But
out
I did lose in both of my leagues this week, but the
Okay.
Panthers won, so it balanced out.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's
Now
good to have
I'm
a
used
team.
I'm used to. Man, the Panthers might lose, but maybe I'll have a pretty good week in fantasy. And
It
this
gives-
week was just the opposite.
Cool.
Okay.
What would
So
you
it gives you
take? Would you
something
take a
else.
fantasy win or a Panther?
Because I'm a real fan, I would take the fantasy loss for the Panthers to win.
Wow.
Not sponsored. Could
Not
be.
sponsored.
be.
Could very well be.
Panthers
Not gonna lie,
sponsors.
the Titans could lose. I want that trophy. I want the trophy. Titans can lose. It's
wants
okay.
his
They're
name
not
on
good
the
enough anyways. Will Levis is.
Oh.
Oh,
That's rough.
hopefully
They're
they
not-
don't
Sorry,
hear that.
Titans players watching this.
Sorry. That's the 15%
Yeah,
is
my-
actually
hey,
the Titans.
DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley,
If
Will
you're
Levis,
watching this.
Mayo Man. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm sorry.
The trophy's more important for sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Wait, okay, question. This doesn't have anything to do with fantasy. Actually, it will. Who's your favorite football player and who's your favorite fantasy football player?
Ooh.
Is that a different?
I need some clarification.
Yes.
Like,
Favorite player of all time?
all
Yes.
time
Whoa,
football.
okay, that's a completely different question.
Okay.
Oh.
Or this season. We'll back it up a little bit.
For this season?
Yeah.
on my favorite team or like in
That's-
Favorite
the
team,
I
fantasy.
think
Favorite
I think
current,
your-
just
your
favorite current
favorite
player.
really just ends up being who's playing best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
so
now,
who's
it's
that?
Alvin Kamara for me. He's just
Zach
balling out.
said, not me.
Not a
I'm
real
a
fan.
fan. Yeah.
He's not a real fan.
No, fantasy players.
Oh.
Your fantasy, whoever your favorite fantasy players, whoever's
Okay, so
playing
who are
best
yours
on your
right
team.
now?
Oh,
Jared.
yeah. Sure.
Best fantasy, best in real life.
My best fantasy player on my team, he plays on the same team as Taylor Swift's boyfriend,
Which is
Rashee
the
Rice,
Chiefs.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs.
That is.
And so he's been balling out this year. And
Who is he?
Rashee Rice.
Nice.
Ever heard of him?
No, Mr. Rice. I'll look him up.
Mr. Rice. And then my favorite player on my team, George Pickens. He's a dog.
George.
He's best.
And he's
he's
on the
best in league.
Steelers?
Yeah, he's on the
Ball.
Steelers.
Okay.
He's a
No,
bum.
I'll get with the defense, but the offense
He's
is
a bum.
George Pickens.
Bro could have said TJ Watt.
Gosh.
George
Mr.
Alright,
Rice
Zach?
and Mr.
Pickens.
Pickens.
Okay, favorite fantasy question is tough
Okay.
because this past week, once again, both of my teams.
can be
Bomb.
Deontay
Good.
Johnson.
Deontay Johnson's not on my team.
Oh.
He's on mine.
Oh.
I beat Zach.
But
is
he
a
won
sore
his
subject I
but
can
Zach won his,
His
first
first
two
two.
Won
games.
my first
He
two.
did. He did.
Okay,
I'm
before
tied for
your
first in our
teams
league.
lost, who was your favorite
Yeah.
player?
When you were
I
winning.
don't know. I mean, what should have been most reliable was either Brees Hall or Tyreek Hill, and neither of them have been super reliable.
So you've
Okay.
been let
So-
down by your
What
favorite.
about
I'm
in
currently
real life?
it's complicated with my players right now. We're going through it, but we're working through it.
We'll keep them in our
Yeah.
thoughts.
I'd say one of my favorite players in the league. It might sound cheap, but I'd say Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
I want success for him. I want him to win a Super Bowl. He couldn't do it as a Panther. I'm just hoping he can get it before he
Cam
has to
couldn't
retire.
do
What
it
team
as a
does he play
Panther.
on?
Don't talk to me
Cam,
about
Cam
right now.
couldn't
What
do it
team
as a
does he play
Panther.
on?
49ers.
The 49ers.
Okay,
Cool.
nice.
And that is.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice job.
I got that earlier when
West
I played
Coast.
that
Yeah,
game.
we
Good
just saw the
work.
logo. You got
Yeah.
it.
Good work.
I did.
Okay,
All right. Well,
well.
what you got?
Right now, Alvin Kamara, he's balling out.
That's fantasy.
Yep, fantasy
Okay.
players.
What? Who does he play for?
He plays for the New Orleans Saints,
Okay.
so he's out there. Great PPR monster, catches the ball
That means he catches the ball.
a lot.
And you get points.
That's right.
One per
we go.
catch.
There we go.
Catching on.
There we
And
go.
then
We're pretty much
favorite
pros.
player, I go current. I'll probably say Derrick Henry. Same reasoning. I want success for the man. If I
What
didn't,
team is he on?
he's on the Baltimore Ravens right now.
Oh, that's
okay.
why he's freaking out. Over
And if
there.
not, when I was growing up, Tim Tebow. That was my guy.
Classic.
That was my
Classic.
guy. Loved that man. Wanted all the success in the world for him.
Yeah.
he got it.
Couldn't
got it.
couldn't make it happen. Unfortunately.
Reaction.
Unfortunately. It's a sad day.
He's out of
We just know that he's married and he's
His wife
loves
is
the
so
Lord
cute.
and
I love her.
yeah,
She's
so he got
great.
it, all the success in the world, right?
And Jesus. So
Yeah.
that's kind of all he needs.
But maybe
Anyways.
not.
He
in
did beat the
football.
Steelers in the playoffs with the
Oh,
absolute
you remember
bomb.
But he has
Absolute
Jesus.
bomb.
Okay, Tyler, what about you? Fantasy?
Favorite fantasy player, Justin Jefferson, Jay Jettas. It's what my team name
nicknamed
is. Yeah, it's what my team name is.
And what does he play for?
Named after. He plays for the Minnesota Vikings. He's
Okay.
a receiver.
And that's the same colors as your team?
Purple, yeah, it is.
Purple.
Yeah,
It's a horrible color to have.
each their own.
Do you
Um,
own purple shirts?
actually, I don't think I do. I think everything
Yeah,
Ravens I have is
because
black.
it's such a great
Because
color.
it's purple and it's
Well, black's my favorite color. If you,
Okay.
Is that their
tell.
color? Black?
So, yeah. Well, no, not the
like
Vikings.
other teams have black. Don't the Panthers have black? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on your hat.
No more bringing up the Panthers. It's a sore
PTSD.
subject.
Favorite player?
On the Ravens.
He's not on the Ravens actually.
Oh,
Wow.
we're stepping out
He
of the
was.
box.
Oh.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flack.
And who does he play for
Overrated.
now?
He plays for the Colts. He's the number 2, but he's old.
Okay.
He's like touching 40.
Overrated.
Yeah,
Old.
yeah, for real. I can't say that.
Touching 40. Old. Super old.
Yeah, but he brought a Super Bowl to Baltimore, so
Okay.
I'm forever in debt.
Even if he moves teams.
He already has. He's moved
He plays
three,
against
three
Is it
teams
because
since the
they're
Ravens.
better?
Well, it's because a quarterback drops off like mid-30s, a normal quarterback, and he's touching 40, so he dropped off a while ago. He's the old guard. The
He's
new
the
guard is
vet.
now. He's
Teach
the
the
vet.
youngins.
I see. So they keep him for
Gotcha.
morale and like advice.
Keep him to teach the young gun who comes in.
Nice.
You take the old guard. So they keep the old guard to teach the young gun.
That's nice.
And
That's
sometimes
like respect
the old
to your
guard takes
elders,
over, like
right?
Andy Dalton, red rifle.
Totally.
Whoa, when the young gun is that bad.
Just like that.
All right, we don't need any Bryce Young slander over here.
Everyone's
I
about to
read
fight.
today. I read today that the Titans would consider trading Will Levis for.
Having a quarterback room of buns. That's insane.
We'll see what
I don't
happens.
understand
I don't know
what's
what
going on
any
the couch over
what
there,
happens.
but
No clue.
I feel like I've learned a lot from
Me
you
too.
guys. So thank you. For,
I feel like I could kind of explain it to someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
we know the point system.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. You win, you get a point.
Yeah.
You catch, you get a point.
you get a point.
You
Can
do
you
something
explain
good.
it? Can you
Yeah.
explain it to us then?
They say,
Yeah.
they
Okay,
say the highest level of learning is being able
you
to
go and you choose your players, and, you
And
get
that's
to choose
called
a bunch
a
of
draft.
players. It's
Yeah.
a draft,
And you all hang out. Some
and you get
people
to
wear
eat
suits.
dinner, and
Some
it's
people make it very
fun.
fancy.
And if you win the last year, you get to choose first.
And that's called
first
a keeper.
pick. Nope, that's not a keeper. That's
Wait, the
first.
people that you keep are keepers.
If you have a good one from
Yes.
last year, you get to keep
You're onto
it.
something.
So depending
Oh, there's
on
more
your
rules.
league, we randomize.
Yes, because that's
our
your
order.
rule.
We randomize our order.
Oh,
That's why
So-
they have the ducks on the screens.
We did the duck race.
So
For
you
those
guys
of you who don't
do
know,
a little duck thing.
we
It's
did a
just
race
luck.
with ducks to see
Not real ones, fake ones.
fake ducks.
ducks.
No ducks.
So the
were
winner
harmed.
was
does
rigged.
not
It was a
get
draft.
first pick in
Huh?
your league.
No.
The winner of last year
No.
doesn't get
It's
first.
just
Not
based off of
automatically.
the ducks.
Okay, got it.
In actual football, it's
The
like
opposite.
The opposite way
last.
of like the team that does
loser?
performs the worst gets the first.
First.
pick.
Oh.
Why?
In real to balance it out because then you're
To
getting
give
the
'em,
best
like-
Oh,
player.
so they're just not in the bottom the whole time.
I see. I see. Okay. That's
interesting.
another thing that we learned. There
Okay,
you go.
so you have your keepers. That's who you keep from the last one, and you
and
guys,
you guys
allow
have
one
one
in your league.
in your
Yep.
league. Okay.
And then you play each other based off of it's just randomized throughout the thing, and then whoever wins that wins based off of how many points you
Points.
get.
And then you get, if you win, you get one win.
Yep.
And then they add up throughout the season.
Yep.
And then you make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's 6 in the playoffs and 2 in the
In our league.
In
yeah.
the bottom,
Yep.
and then they fight,
play each
and
other.
one of them loses.
Yeah.
The losers play each other, and then the league, the 6
Playoff.
play
Mhm.
off each other.
And then the winner gets the trophy, and the loser eats pancakes, waffles.
Waffles or wings
Or
Or
our secret
Or the
punishment that we
undetermined.
have.
Do we definitely
I'm
know?
very intrigued.
Punishment.
Do we get to know after the podcast?
Can we actually podcast the punishment? Will you
Live,
be
live,
live.
from What's That podcast?
We need. I think we need to talk to.
We do need to
the
discuss.
commission. and
Okay.
Figure that out.
Oh, who's the commissioner?
What's
I've
that?
heard of that. What's that?
Why is that so funny?
Yeah.
Himself.
The commissioner. You talk to the commissioner.
So he'll talk to himself.
He's got to talk to the commission.
We'll talk. We'll talk
Are
to.
you
Luke.
the
Oh, you're the
commissioner?
commissioner?
I'm the commissioner.
How'd they choose that?
It's just I was the one who started the league.
Oh, so you're just
get
like
to
in
be it.
charge. You're
It's,
like,
Every year?
it's the same as like the
president?
It's the person. I set up the league and said invited everyone and said, hey, let's all play.
You're
okay.
the president. of
So
the
I have a
group.
question
Sure.
for you guys.
Oh,
So
Okay.
typically on a Sunday when say you're like watching Johnny or like you're seeing like one of us or something like
and
that.
you're
Johnny.
watching.
Sorry.
Yes.
You see him like
Yes,
you see
yes.
a
Watching
guy,
sports.
We sit-
You see
Yes.
a guy like checking his phone and like all that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is it just like a foreign idea to you? Like do you not understand it at
I
all? Like,
understand what's going on. I don't understand the addiction to having to like keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever people are constantly checking their stats, like you could just check it at the end of the day. You know.
I feel like
later.
I feel like there's nothing that me personally, I check every. I don't know. I feel like I don't watch sports consistently, so it's not something that I'm like invested in.
Yeah, we don't really have a girl equivalent,
No,
so I feel like
there's
it's
not
kind of like
something that's like
you're a part of something that we
Y'all
just
never
don't
play,
get
like,
to
like the
Red
the closest I've ever
saying.
gotten, I think, is watching the Olympics and like being like, but I'm not even that invested when I watch the Olympics. But they're just on all the time, and you're like, oh, this person raced and did the race, and then they're gonna race again, and they won or they didn't. Like that's the closest I can get, but I'm not even that invested.
I think it's the terms
Wait.
that's confusing.
But go back to like middle school
Okay.
when you were a fan of like an actor or singer or something like that, and you weren't one of those where you had like a Stan account and you were like
we
following
were
We were
people?
homeschooled.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
I also
about
growing
that.
up, I wasn't a fan of famous people.
No.
Like I didn't have like that one person that I was like, oh my
Yeah, I remember one of
Nothing I
my
checked
friends
in
was like,
on.
"Oh, I have the Justin Bieber fan club card," and I was like, "What? Who?
Yeah.
What?"
Okay,
Nothing
let's.
like that.
Who's the first person that pops? Who's the first circle that pops up when you open Instagram?
Jonathan Morales.
Probably her. Definitely.
Because I'm saying
Like, it's different every time.
Yeah, but I'm saying that might be people that you're invested in seeing what they're up to or what's going on.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And
For
so that's
football.
probably a similar feeling where you're like, oh, I wonder
What
what this
they're
team's up to. I
doing.
wonder
The
how they're
royal
doing.
family.
Wow, that was a good.
That was a
that
good
really made
explanation.
that
I
clip.
I bet you keep up with the queen, the king.
Okay.
She actually died, and that's a sore subject. Thank you very much.
That
Panthers,
was
Steelers.
Yeah.
You can't. You
Oh
do
my
keep up with
gosh.
Do you keep up with the royal family?
Not as
Not
much
really,
as you keep up
no.
with football.
No.
Well, but here's the thing: if you really average it out over the entire year, it's not that much because it's 3
It's
months.
just really
condensed.
concentrated
It's
for a
condensed
little
into
while.
3 months, and then the rest of the year,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
open
okay.
the app very much.
And also,
Because it's not happening.
and something we didn't touch on is injuries. Injuries can like
Dude,
ruin your season.
injuries,
See, you saw the reaction.
Injuries,
They
man.
all just
You can
went,
have
oh my
a
gosh.
player that's like supposed to be the best. Like out
Didn't
of-
that
out of
happen in the
everybody.
first like couple games?
I-
Who was
so-
it? Who
So
got
we
Yeah,
injured?
have
who
a
got
buddy
injured?
We're watching.
that's in the league, and he drafted Christian McCaffrey first round,
Mhm.
and
He's
he
supposed
hasn't
to be
played.
really good.
He's supposed to be the best player.
Oh,
He hasn't
no.
played one single game,
Oh
and he's now put on injury reserve, which
That's
means he
so
at least has to
sad.
be out for 4 weeks.
Oh no.
So he'll miss, and he missed the first game, so he's gonna miss the first 5 games of the season.
Okay, over your fantasy football career, what's been the most disappointing? You drafted someone and then they got injured. What's been the worst, the
You
biggest
drafted someone who
blow?
was hurt last year.
Oh no.
So bad. That was so bad. Yeah, I took a chance on a guy who did really.
Just
really
hoping
good.
he'd get better.
No, I knew he was gonna come back. I knew he was gonna sit on my bench like the first 2 weeks, and then he did, and then he came off my bench healthy, and then he sucked.
Oh,
And I was just banking on him having a good season, but
little
I didn't know that
rusty.
the injury affected him that much.
Who was it?
Cub.
Oh yeah.
It was buns.
Anybody else?
You had
Any
Nick
bad
Chubb
injuries?
last year.
Yeah, I had Nick Chubb, but what did I expect?
Who?
Nick Chubb.
Who dat?
he
Um,
hurt himself, or
I'm
he
trying
was
to
just
think.
bad?
I feel like I have to have a better example of someone.
Well, that's a pretty good
We were
example.
talking about trades.
That's
Oh
a
my
pretty good
gosh.
example.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were-
yeah.
You trade
Oh.
people too?
Let's end on the trades
Oh my
because
gosh.
I feel like that there's a lot
Alright,
of beef
yeah.
and there's a lot of drama when it comes
Do
to
you
a
guys?
trade.
You-
Has anyone ever stopped being friends because of trades?
Previous to a trade, yes. Before a trade, yes. There was some animosity.
There was some
explain.
draft. There was some draft
Trades?
drama.
Can you trade anytime, all the time, whenever you want to trade, or is that
There's
like
a deadline. There's a deadline
Okay.
up to the like
In the
a
season?
certain week before the playoffs.
how often
Okay.
do trades happen? Do you just like willingly trade, or are you like
Not that often.
3 or 4 a season.
Yeah.
okay?
Hmm.
Because it's normally someone that's good and someone wants it, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
normally you gotta do it when like you're kind of down bad and you need just, like,
sympathy
gotta make
trade?
something happen. Yeah.
Are people like nice and like, oh yeah, you're
No.
doing bad? No.
No.
No, you could be like me and you prey on someone who's doing bad,
Oh.
and then you offer them.
That's
And
wild.
fleece over
Whoa.
and over.
Yeah, you absolutely do that. No, so you offer
He
them.
admitted it on camera. He has waited.
That's his
We've
strategy.
waited
No, no,
for
I'm
2
not
years.
talking about that. I'm
He's
not
just
talking about that. I'm
fleeced.
not talking about that.
He's fleeced twice and taken
Please.
advantage of people 2 years in a row.
It's not my fault.
It sounds
So
like
I'll say
a mission.
first year Will was 0-5.
Yep.
And I was, I don't know, like 500 or something like that. And so he was like, oh, all right,
Like
let's
2,
talk.
3 injured players.
Yeah, he had 3 injured guys
So you were
Starters.
struggling.
who were really good guys who would come back. I've got the capital to say, well, I can just sit them on my bench for a little bit, maybe take a little heat for the 2 weeks until they come back, and then I'll be set for the playoffs and we go in a much better team. So then I traded with him. He went from 0-5 to 3-5 the next 3 weeks, so it helped him out. But then when
then you
those
had the
guys
good
came
players.
back healthy, they were the best guys on my team, and I ended up winning the championship because
So if he had
It was
kept
so
them, he
good.
would have had good guys.
yeah, but he also
But
he
then I
Wouldn't
was
would
have
have
trying to
made
get
it.
probably
out.
down 8,
Yeah.
0 and 8.
He was trying to get out of the bottom playoff, because it was 0-5. So if he could go 0-8, he's not making.
So like he kind of had to do it, but also you kind of took advantage.
Yeah.
What happened last year?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, first, what was the other trade that happened that year?
What
was
other
it?
trade?
I think it was like
the San
for
Fran.
Ramondre Stevenson.
that's
Was that right?
disgusting.
I don't. Yeah,
I
don't
feel
know
like this
anything
is
about
getting crazy.
We're just
I feel like we
rehashing.
opened a can of
We're
worms.
rehashing a lot of
Trade
this.
One thing
seems
that might be
wild.
helpful that I feel like we didn't explain is it's not just a free for all for the draft.
Yeah.
You're drafting specific player positions. So you have a team where
So you can't just have like all offense.
Yeah.
What is
well, it
all
is all.
offense?
Well, you do have a defense.
Wait,
but
what?
You're not drafting individual defensive players in our league.
positions.
It's just
And
A defense
offense is
overall.
not
You have a
position.
starting lineup, and on that
Yes.
starting lineup, you have one quarterback.
Because you have to
two
make
running
like a
backs.
real, like
Team.
you were
Yeah.
making a real team.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
you
saying.
can't,
Not
you
everyone
can't
can
just
be
draft
offense.
like the best
Yeah.
like 10 running backs in the league.
Okay.
It's like
You have to have a
you have
whole
a
team.
cap of how many running backs you can actually have on a team.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And it's a snake draft, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the second round it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
So
2.
whoever goes
Draft
last
order.
gets to pick twice.
So it's, yep. So it goes like
Cool.
that.
So there's almost a benefit to being last.
Yes.
potentially,
But
if
then
there's
on-
not a standout,
If you're not first, it's better to be last.
Kind of towards the end.
It depends
on how many
depends on
people
in the
league.
league.
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
a lot of things. If you're in a 12-person league, I'm in a 12-person league. You don't want to be 12th
No.
because like 12th and 13th is not
There's
are not
none.
great.
Everything's
picks.
gone by then.
Yeah, you drop. There's a drop off of this.
I see.
So it really depends on the year of how many are really good at the top. Like this year, there were 5 that were really good, so you wanted to be in that top 5, so you grab one of them.
Got you.
But
So what
other
would be
years-
your ideal spot in the pick? What would you guys choose?
In your
if you could
league
choose,
with 8, you have 8.
Our
right?
league of 8.
yeah, where would you like to end up on that draft? Which obviously you already did it. What was your where were you in the draft and which would you want to be?
This year I won the duck race, so I got the first pick.
Nice.
Hey,
That's
and
ideal,
that's where you
right?
would want to be.
I
First
was
pick?
cool with the first pick.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
I know sometimes people don't enjoy the first pick, so
I think I ended up 5th, but I think 3rd or 4th was where I wanted to be.
okay.
Okay.
I was 6, and I'm happy with 6.
Okay. On the back end then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
A little too sure.
I think I
think
was
you were
for
for
it.
it?
I don't know. I was pretty okay
Where would
with
you
it,
choose?
especially because I already had a keeper, and so I felt pretty confident about where I was
Your
already.
team was stacked already.
I felt
Perfect.
pretty good.
Depend your draft where you want to draft definitely depends on like your league, because since we have keepers, a lot of the first round picks were already taken by keepers, so we were starting in the second
You're already getting the
round.
leftovers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of the best top are already gone. So
Got
it.
you.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. I feel like I learned so much, and now when me and Johnny watch football, I'll be like, ask me anything. I know the answers to not much about football, but fantasy.
Yeah.
I feel like we should join a league. How many
No.
people do you have to have in a league? Can you have 2?
4.
As low as 4. Yeah.
We need to. Can we join your league next year?
We'll talk to the commission.
You.
You're the
you.
commissioner.
We'll talk to the commission.
Okay.
That's enough.
I think that's
okay.
enough.
So we'll start our own league.
What
Okay,
if,
well,
what if
we're
y'all
gonna-
each? What if y'all each set Johnny's lineup for the next 2 weeks?
Ooh, that'd be funny.
Yeah,
I think that's
evil.
I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that.
I think
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna leave him alone.
I would allow it.
Listen,
How about we pick yours?
you
Yeah, that's what I thought.
you could.
You could, but we won't. We won't.
No, I think that I learned a lot, and what I'm gonna do with
We're
this
be- we're
information
better for
is
next season.
TBD.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing.
We'll let you know.
But
the
maybe I'll be
trophy's
able to
in
talk
my
to
house,
my brother.
so
about
my
something
name might
else.
be on it by the end of the season.
There you go.
It's
Your
right there.
name's hey Morales. Your name's on it.
Period.
What's his is yours.
I'll just scratch his out and put mine.
There you go.
There you go.
We really appreciate you educating us on
Yes,
this.
thank
We were
you.
very
Yeah.
curious,
We
and
learned a
now
lot.
when we see you talking about it, we will be like, yeah,
Keep
we
up a
know-
little
We
bit.
know what's going on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of What's That Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow us on all your favorite platforms at What's That Podcast so you don't miss our next episode. But until next time, we're going to exit stage left.